I was always kind of interested in that. Like, I was like to be the funny person in the room, even if it meant being awful and annoying to be around.
Thank you guys so much.
For some reason, I was just like, I have to do stand-up. No one should ever think that. And I didn't have the right to be thinking that, but I guess whatever. My name is Charlotte Gehred. I'm a comedy writing and performance major. And I'm a sophomore, and I feel like I'm on NPR right now. I have now tried my hand at stand-up, sketch writing, and now improv. And mainly with like stand-up, I'll be going to open mics. I have a sketch group, Man Overboard, which is not affiliated with Columbia College Chicago. It's its own thing. And I'm also writing for a sketch show at The Annoyance, which is a comedy club in Chicago. And we pretty much just write sketches and submit them, and then we just watch them do it on stage. And then improv. I'm on the Columbia College improv team, full rides, let's go. So I've done all three now, but I mainly started in stand-up. I've been doing stand-up since I was like 17, 16 years old. What is my process? That's a really good, because I need to find one, I think. I think like with stand-up, I can't really sit myself down and like force myself to write. I will do that, and then usually it's like, I'll find like little bits of something that eventually will turn into a joke I feel willing to say on stage. And it will take me a while. It kind of like happens in bursts. Like I'll like do like one day where I'm just like 5 jokes, and then I won't write for like months. But other than that, it will just be like at random times. I get a lot of like random just like thoughts. That's my angle. Far. And then I'll turn that into a joke or something.
I've been trying to take more pictures and like look better in them. And it's all about finding your angle. Like I've noticed for me, I look better if the camera's like far. Okay. So
I determine things to be funny if I personally laugh and think that it's funny. However, like even just like now I'm like writing for people now more with like the show, and like specifically with like the comedy cabaret, we got to write sketches and then see how they do like week after week after week. And like just hearing like what people laughed at.
Now it's orange, which means horny. Oh my god, Rita! Okay, no, obviously I'm not horny because someone died in a house fire. Just look, the color's changing. It was just lagging. What does teal mean? Teal means not horny, but still wet. Why is that so specific?
It is just like, if people laugh, it's funny. And that doesn't mean that it's not funny if no one laughs, but like, there is a difference between a joke that is just funny to you and a joke that is like funny universally. I think now being at the school for 2 years, I can write to the Columbia audience like pretty much to a T. Like it's very predictable about what will land in front of a Columbia audience.
Hey. Do you have a cigarette?
No, I have a father.
I think the major thing when it comes to like audiences is not even about like, obviously like, personal experience and like what you've been through, who you are is going to impact what you laugh at. But I think the biggest thing truly is age and generation. I was just in a show in Milwaukee at Comedy Sports, and it was like much older crowd, like my parents' age. That was really the scariest thing of like, I have no idea what's going to make these people laugh, because it's just the generation is so different.
people have a lot to say about teenage girls. They're like, oh, they're so hormonal, and that's why they're so mean all the time. And I know that's supposed to like offend me, but honestly, like, that better be true, otherwise I'm just a huge bitch. For no reason, always have been. Like, even when I was a kid, at like 10 years old, I'd be at the park and be like, why are all these kids screaming? Like, they'd be like, why are you reading Death of a Salesman and smoking a Marlboro Red in the sandbox?
If a joke bombs, I will often not use it for a while before I tweak it and try again. Just because usually I'm wounded and I can't imagine like saying that again. So I honestly will more tweak if a joke does well, and I'll try to change it. There was one that I have like in Wisconsin, like,
and one thing you realize about Wisconsin when you leave is that we say things really weird here. Like instead of a bag, we say bag. Yeah, instead of water fountain, we say bubbler.
Like instead of alcoholic, we say cool guy and great father. And then I've also just been throwing around doing like,
Instead of alcoholic, we say cool guy and great driver.
as well. And then I'll like try to like come up with like other punchlines, like alternative punchlines. It's really hard for me to write stand-up, honestly. I write very slowly. I'll work on like one joke for like a week, or like 3 or 4 jokes for like weeks, and sometimes even months. With sketch, it's a lot easier. Once you have that idea for a sketch, it's like pretty much 90% already done. So coming up with ideas for sketches too, sometimes I'll just start writing and it will come to me. Like I don't have to like have an idea necessarily when I start. If you just start with like a funny conversation between 2 people, it will usually divulge into something that you can use. Writing like with friends and like writing like the sketches that I've written like with people, it's the best it gets, because it's just so much more fun and you don't have to do all the work, and you also have someone, it's like the first person that you know also thinks it's funny, so it's like you are way more confident in the piece.
Oh my god! Ow! 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 Why? Please stop! Your head in your hand! Your head in your hand! Stop it! Stop!
And you know, like if they ever get famous, how is that going to benefit me? That's always what I'm thinking. And you can like surround yourself around people who are all working towards the same goal, and that can help you. That is like what you're paying tuition for, is like the fact that you're meeting people who also care and are passionate about this.
And then a heavenly beam comes out. And then they just stop talking. And
I think that would be great, but I think it is gonna look like he has just a
Quiet,
flashlight.
my child.
Yeah,
Is that
exactly.
funny too?
We just really want you to laugh. We really just want you to like it. It's really a beautiful thing, just when someone chooses or decides to make a joke, because it's like, yeah, we're all narcissists and we get something out of it for sure, but like, it is just like I love to make people laugh, and like people just like to make you laugh, and that is what should be at the heart of every show and every joke. Now, it's probably not always, but I think that like that is really what it stems from. I love like doing like one line like comedy too, because it sometimes takes a second for people to get what I'm saying. So like the most rewarding part is like when it's like I've just said the joke and I'm like paused and like waiting.
I'm pretty broke right now. I'm in college. I'm pretty broke. Last night for dinner I had bedtime.
For people to start reacting, and then you start hearing the roll of like, oh, or like sometimes what the, sometimes people walk out, but that's like really rewarding to like get people like, they didn't know what I was talking about a second ago and now they do. That's fun.
I've been trying to like buy alcohol at a store and they won't let me. My fake ID is working fine, it's just my debit card keeps declining. Trying to come up with like other ways to make money, like I'm looking into getting a sugar daddy perhaps. And if that doesn't work, I guess I'll get a job.